The morning rush at Hazelwood Diner had just calmed, when Mia, the waitress everyone knew for her gentle patience, noticed the pair who'd slipped into booth 3. The man carried the kind of presence people instinctively made room for: tailored charcoal suit, deliberate movements, silence that hinted at power. And beside him sat a little girl with dark glasses, hands folded tightly in her lap, head tilted, as if listening to a world she couldn't see. Mia sensed something fragile in the child, something careful. She approached softly, her notebook ready, offering her warmest smile. The man, Ethan Hale, billionaire investor, though few recognized him without the usual entourage, nodded politely without meeting her eyes, as though he'd been rehearsing detachment for years. "May I take your order?" Mia asked, gently, focusing on the girl first. The little girl turned her face toward the sound of her voice. "Pancakes," she whispered, almost too quietly to hear. Ethan reached across the table automatically, guiding her hand to the water glass as though she might hurt herself without constant direction. Mia watched the way he hovered. Protective wasn't the right word. It was stricter, heavier, like fear wrapped in good intentions. Something in it made her chest tighten, and she jotted down their order before stepping away. But as she turned, she caught something odd. The girl's eyes, behind the tinted lenses, shifted, following Mia's movement with surprising precision. Mia froze for a second, confusion flickering through her. Blind children didn't track motion that accurately, or at all. When she returned with the food, she placed the plates gently on the table. The girl's chin lifted again, eerily attuned to the exact moment the plate touched wood. Her head followed Mia's hand before it even settled. Ethan quickly adjusted the girl's fork for her, carefully placing her fingers around it, guiding her first scoop. "Slowly, Lily," he murmured. Lily nodded obediently, overly careful, as if she'd been trained to move like porcelain. Mia felt a prickle travel up her spine. Something didn't add up. She headed back to the counter, where her co-worker, Sam, leaned against the espresso machine. "Booth 3. What's their story?" she whispered. Sam shrugged. "He's some big-shot CEO. Comes in once a month. Quiet. The daughter's blind. Tragic stuff. People say she was born that way." Mia frowned. "Are you sure?" "That's what everyone says." Mia looked back at the girl, whose head was angled slightly toward the window, almost studying the pattern of sunlight moving across the floor. Mia watched the way Lily's fingers twitched, as though reacting to something visual, not auditory. She filled coffee for Ethan, and walked back, still uncertain about what she'd seen. Setting the cup down, she deliberately shifted it 2 inches across the table. Lily's eyes, hidden behind tinted lenses, moved with it. Mia's breath caught. Ethan didn't notice he was answering a business call with a look of exhaustion that didn't match his wealth. When he hung up, Mia cleared her throat lightly. "Your daughter, she seems very aware," she said carefully. Ethan stiffened. "She listens well." Mia hesitated, sensing walls rising. "Of course, she's amazing." Lily smiled shyly at the compliment, but Mia noticed her knee bouncing under the table, a child itching to move, to explore, not one resigned to darkness. Mia's heart squeezed. Later, when the diner quieted again, she passed by their booth once more and saw Lily's fingers brushing along the table edge, counting the ridges in the wood. Ethan stopped her hand gently but firmly. "Remember what we practiced," he whispered. Lily's shoulders drooped. "Right. Blind, I'm blind." The words hit Mia like ice. She froze mid-step, pulse thundering. Why would a child say that? Lily looked terrified immediately, pressing her hands together as if praying her father hadn't heard her slip. Ethan's jaw clenched, but he didn't scold her. He just whispered her name in a warning tone, the kind that came from fear, not anger. Mia walked straight into the kitchen, gripping the counter edges. Something was deeply wrong. She'd seen children masquerade confidence, hide fear, mimic adults, but she'd never seen a child pretend to be blind. Ethan paid the bill quietly and thanked her before guiding Lily outside. As they left, Lily accidentally bumped into the doorframe, and Mia saw her wince, not from pain, but habit. The kind of habit someone had drilled into her. After her shift, Mia stepped into the cool afternoon air, only to spot them again across the street. Ethan was on a phone call, pacing. Lily stood beside him, her face lifted toward the swaying branches overhead. And then it happened. A bird fluttered down, landing near Lily's feet. The little girl gasped in delight and looked directly at it. Not angled, not vaguely. Taut directly. Mia's breath hitched. There was no doubt. Lily could see. The bird hopped away and Lily followed it with her eyes until Ethan turned, ending his call. Lily immediately restrapped the tinted glasses and stilled her posture like she'd been trained for years. Mia felt heat rush through her chest. Anger, shock, heartbreak, all tangled. Why would a father force his daughter to pretend blindness? What kind of life was that? She crossed the street before her fear could talk her out of it. "Mr. Hale," she called softly. Ethan turned, surprise flickering over his face. He positioned himself slightly between Mia and his daughter without thinking. "I don't want to intrude," Mia said, keeping her voice low, "but something doesn't seem right." Ethan's expression hardened instantly. "I don't know what you think you saw, but my daughter is blind." Lily's fingers tightened around her father's sleeve, trembling. Mia crouched slightly to meet Lily's level, her voice gentle. "Sweetheart, are you scared to tell the truth?" Ethan stepped forward. "That's enough." But Lily whispered, barely audible, "Please don't tell." Mia's heart broke. Ethan exhaled shakily, rubbing his face, something between defeat and agony flickering through him. "You don't understand," he murmured. "If anyone finds out," he didn't finish. Lily tugged his hand. "Daddy, I'm tired." He looked at her, and something soft, desperate, and endlessly conflicted crossed his face. Mia whispered, "You're hurting her more, by hiding whatever this is." Ethan closed his eyes, as though battling something too big to say aloud. And then he said quietly, so quietly, Mia barely heard it. "She wasn't born blind. She was made blind." Mia went cold, but then he added, "and when she started seeing again, we couldn't tell anyone. It isn't safe." Before Mia could speak, a sleek black car slowed near the curb, tinted windows rolling down halfway. Ethan's face drained of color. He put an arm around Lily, urging her back. "We need to leave." "Now?" Mia stared at them, father terrified, daughter pretending blindness, a car watching them, and she knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was something far darker, something someone wanted buried. Ethan pulled Lily close, whispering sharply, "Don't look up. Don't look at the car." But Lily, curious, innocent, lifted her head anyway. And Mia saw the passenger's face twist with recognition. Then the car door opened, and everything shifted. The moment the car door opened, Mia felt her stomach tighten. The man inside didn't look ordinary. His suit was crisp, his presence commanding, and his eyes sharp enough to pierce through any facade. He glanced at Ethan and Lily, and Mia could see something flicker. Recognition, calculation, danger. Ethan froze, instinctively shielding Lily behind him. "You shouldn't be here," he said, his voice low, controlled. But Mia could hear the tension. Lily's small hand gripped her father's jacket, her tiny knuckles whitening, betraying the calm she tried to project behind those dark glasses. Mia stepped closer, heart pounding, unsure whether to intervene or stay back. Something about this moment felt pivotal, dangerous, life-altering. The passerby might be more than a stranger. He was deliberate, purposeful, and the air seemed charged with expectation. The man in the car spoke first, his voice smooth but cold. "Ethan Harley. Still playing the father of secrets, I see. But you can't hide her forever." Ethan's jaw tightened. He didn't move, didn't flinch, but his eyes flicked toward Lily. A silent apology passing between them. Lily looked up at Mia briefly, searching for an anchor. Her eyes, though hidden behind tinted lenses, gleamed with trust. Mia understood in that moment that she had to act. She couldn't just watch. The child depended on someone brave enough to step forward. "Leave them alone," Mia said, her voice firm, carrying across the small space between them. Her heartbeat thundered. "She's a child. You have no right to threaten her like this." The man turned his gaze on her, sharp and appraising. Mia held it, refusing to look away, even as a shiver of fear ran down her spine. Ethan spoke, his voice tight. "Mia, it's not safe for her. Not for you either." Mia shook her head. "I can't just stand by. You're hiding the truth from a child, from the world. That's not protection, that's control." The man's lips curled in a slight, chilling smile. "Ah, The brave little waitress thinks she can fix everything in one day. He gestured toward the car. Do you really believe you can keep her safe? Mia swallowed hard but didn't back down. I don't know, but I know she deserves the truth. Lily clung closer to Ethan. Daddy, can she help us? She whispered, voice trembling. Ethan's eyes softened momentarily, filled with gratitude and fear intertwined. He looked at Mia and nodded slightly. Permission, silent and desperate. Mia turned her attention back to the man. We're leaving. Now. No threats, no games. The man studied her, and for a tense heartbeat, the world seemed suspended. Then he leaned back, his expression neutral, almost impressed. Very well, but know this, the truth has consequences. Ones you may not survive. Mia didn't flinch. We'll survive. Because we have to. Lily deserves that much. Ethan placed a protective arm around his daughter. Lily peeked around him at Mia and whispered, Thank you. Mia smiled softly, nodding, feeling a warmth that cut through the cold fear of the moment. The man finally shut the car door, but the tension didn't fully leave. He lingered a second longer, then drove off slowly, eyes fixed ahead, leaving a silence that felt both heavy and freeing. Ethan exhaled deeply, holding Lily tighter. We need to get somewhere safe, he murmured. Mia nodded. I'll help. You're not alone anymore. Ethan's gaze met hers, a mixture of relief, hope, and lingering fear. Thank you, he said quietly. I don't know what would have happened if you weren't here. They moved quickly, with Lily sandwiched between them. As they walked toward a nondescript car Mia had called ahead for safety, she realized how fragile this family was, and how much courage it took to confront secrets long buried. But she also saw the resilience in Lily's eyes, bright and unyielding behind the tinted lenses. Hours later, safe in a small, secure location, Lily removed her glasses for the first time that day. The light hit her eyes, revealing a vivid depth Ethan had tried to shield from the world. Mia watched quietly, knowing that seeing, really seeing, was more than a gift. It was freedom. Ethan knelt beside her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. You're stronger than you know, Lily, he sighed softly. And so are we. Mia smiled, a quiet, warm smile. Sometimes it takes someone on the outside to remind us of that. They spent the evening together, recounting small, ordinary moments of their day, laughing lightly, sharing food, finding solace in mundane details that now seemed miraculous. It was the first time Mia had witnessed a billionaire father and his daughter simply being a family, unguarded, unafraid, alive. In the weeks that followed, Mia continued to serve at the diner, but her mind often wandered to Ethan and Lily. They returned periodically, cautiously, seeking normalcy, and each time Mia noticed subtle changes: laughter louder, shoulders less tense, and a spark in Lily's eyes growing stronger. One rainy afternoon, as Mia wiped down a booth, Ethan walked in, holding Lily's hand. She had drawn a picture, crayon bright and vivid, of the three of them standing together. For you, Lily said shyly, pressing it into Mia's hand, because you helped us see. Mia's eyes blurred slightly. Thank you, sweetheart. That's perfect. Ethan's gaze lingered, silently acknowledging all she had done. No words could capture the weight of gratitude he felt. The bond they shared grew quietly, unspoken but unbreakable. Mia knew she hadn't just helped uncover a secret. She had helped restore a life, reignite a family, and remind them both that courage sometimes comes in small, unexpected forms. And sometimes, it comes from a stranger with the courage to notice, to act, and to care. Weeks later, Mia returned to the diner, taking her usual seat by the counter. She glanced outside, half expecting Ethan and Lily to appear. And when they did, umbrellas in hand, she felt the warmth of connection, proof that even in a world of hidden truths and power, humanity could triumph. From where you're watching this, Mia would say. If she could, write in the comments. Sometimes the smallest act changes a life. Never underestimate the power of seeing. And as she carried on with her day, the diner no longer felt ordinary. It was a place where lives intersected, where courage met truth, and where one young waitress reminded a billionaire father and his daughter that the world was meant to be seen, fully, brightly, without shadows.